Hey guys, welcome back, it's TK. I've had many arguments online, and they've all gotten pretty confrontational. I'm not going to be autistic and call them debates, because they weren't. They were just disagreements that got a bit intense and a bit heated. I consider myself a right-leaning liberal, which technically classifies me as a classical liberal. I've argued with MRAs, conservatives, liberals, anarcho-communists, libertarian socialists, you fucking name it. There's one group of individuals that I despise arguing with, not because I lose these arguments, but because it loses all fun and purpose really quickly. These are the regressive leftists. People love to use this term rather flippantly as a pejorative and a way of dismissing someone they're disagreeing with simply for being left-leaning. So I'm going to properly define it before we go any further. A regressive leftist holds rather intolerant and illiberal principles and ideologies. These individuals hold forms of cognitive dissonance as a way of justifying their inconsistent and incompatible principles and beliefs. An example is holding tolerance and making excuses for Islamism for the sake of multiculturalism and cultural relativism. On a more personal level, I've noticed these individuals to hold Marxist ideals, whether it be forms of fiscal Marxism such as communism or socialism, or just cultural Marxism such as multiculturalism, political correctness, and social justice. These people are totalitarian. The reason why I absolutely abhor arguing with these types of people is because they lack all reasoning and resort to a rather dishonest means of discourse. You will be bullied, you will be mobbed on, and you will encounter a myriad of other logic-twisting dishonesties. These people go in knowing you're a bigot, knowing that you're a racist. They don't care about policy or economics. They only care about their false sense of morality. To quote Ben Shapiro,
"People don't speak the language of poverty. People don't speak the language of efficiency. People don't speak Mitt Romney's 50-point tax plan. People speak the language of fairness and justice and morality. They want to think they're right and the other guy is wrong. They want a feeling of unearned moral superiority based on their opposition to things."
Regressive leftists love to act sanctimonious. Like the old church, they will talk heavenly praise and virtue from their high podium, but will smite down anybody who dissents from their view of what is just and moral. Don't ever buy into it, and you need to pay attention to it when you're in a disagreement. It's important to first understand and research logical fallacy, as this will allow you better insight into a dishonest discussion. Regressive leftists will always attempt to hold the moral high ground, even when they're objectively acting in a hateful manner. They love unearned moral superiority. They will use personal terms and the language of morality to make you sound like an evil villain. Pay attention to this and don't bite the bait. A public display of disagreement must be played like a game of chess. You don't fall into their ploy, or it's checkmate. They want to publicly humiliate you. They want to publicly shame you for any type of wrongthink, and you need to not let them win. You have to keep a calm composure. If they call you names, call them out on it. Use the language of morality back. For example, if they call you a bigot, racist, or anything else that they love to throw at you, you point out that they're being bullies and they're calling you names and are using ad hominem attacks. Explain how they're the true racists for exploiting racial divide and furthering race relations. Point out why their belief system is immoral. You're trying to persuade the audience and the passerby, not the individual you're arguing with. It's rather difficult to win over a dishonest person such as this with just one disagreement, so you need to focus on the bigger picture. Point out how totalitarian they truly are. Finally, you should never, ever stoop to their level of confrontation. Even if it feels personally justified, and I guarantee you, I know how that feels. It's just you want to unload, but you can't, because if you do, they win. You'll make yourself look like a bully and the game is up. You've just proved their point. You win nothing. You should never use ad hominem attacks on somebody. And you should never, just never, ever show an attempt to condescend. I've noticed too many people fall to condescension, and it just makes them look awful. Even when they might be on the winning side of an issue, it just makes you look like an ass and will push other spectators and onlookers from jumping to your support. The takeaway from this video is that when you're arguing with regressive leftists, you just need to keep your composure. Use their language of morality back at them, and understand that you might not convince the other party, but you just might win over some spectators.